Greetings from Parque Warner Madrid here in Spain. This is an awesome theme park with some awesome roller coasters, and I cannot wait to get back in and get back on some classics like Gotham City Escape, Stunt Fall, and some nice meaty B&M. So let's head inside to one of Spain's best theme parks. So here we are inside Parque Warner Madrid. Is it Parque? Is it Park? We will never know. Actually, I imagine Spanish people know because it's literally their language. But yeah, this is a lovely entrance here. It is a bit damp today. The rain gods are against us. But yeah, really looking forward to this. I came here 2 years ago, just after the opening of Gotham City Escape, which I personally think is the best roller coaster in Europe. Does it still hold up? I mean, we're going to find out pretty soon, I think. But yeah, look at this whole entrance plaza down here. And look at what we have up ahead, the iconic sight of Gotham City's awesome top hat. One of the best top hats in the game. Well, directly up ahead is the entrance to Gotham City Escape, currently on 5 minutes. We saw all the coaches this morning, thought it might be busier, but actually it feels really quiet on park. So fingers crossed we're going to get some laps in today. So let's go and take you in to Wayne Manor. Heading into Wayne Manor to come and look at some artefacts. Ah, they've sorted the queuing system out in here. It used to be a bit of a free-for-all, now it's a bit more organised. So the story here is we're being invited on a personal tour of Wayne Manor. I have a feeling things are about to go a bit wrong.
Bueno, amigos, ¿ya están aburridos? Porque parece que les vendría bien una buena carcajada. Que no podréis dejar de sonreír, pero si empezáis a sentiros un poco mal,
we're being gassed.
que cerrar las salidas y no
If I start laughing hysterically, it's the Joker's fault. Get ready for the chaos. Wow, everyone's walking. This is all very organised compared to last time I see it. No, here comes the running. Into the back cave we go. How cool is that? Well, Gotham City Escape is still an absolute banger of a Batman coaster. Intamin properly delivered the goods there with a multi-launch coaster that just yeets you out of your seat, then hangs you out of it, then yeets you out of it, then hangs you out of it. It's air time, it's hang time, it's launches, and it does it brilliantly. Joe, that was your first ever ride.
Unbelievable, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's something else. I mean, as Paul said, it is literally just kind of akin to airtime and hang time constantly. You kind of alternate between the two. Unbelievable, beating every expectation I had out of the water.
And where does that rank for you?
Oh, it's a difficult one. I'll need a few more rides.
Yeah.
It's up there. It's definitely up there.
Yeah, yes, that's my take too. I think it's still my favourite in Europe, but Europe's had some amazing coasters in the last kind of year or so since I've ridden this. But this is top tier. There's no denying that. This is a top tier Intamin coaster, and it's only in a 5 minute queue. So I think we're going to get a few more rides. And as you exit the gift shop, you come out into Gotham. Now, right here by Gotham City Hall, they do a Batman stunt show. Hopefully they've got some of those today. If so, we'll come and watch that and record some of that for you too. But there are so many Easter eggs down here. If you're a Batman or a DC fan, it's heaven. So we are keeping things Batman with Shadows of Arkham up next. This is a B&M inverted coaster, one of the OG Batman clones. So we've got loads of these in the States. I think this is the only one in Europe. These are very intense rides, predates the Nemesis layout. Really good fun and a bit rattly. Welcome to the Joker's Fun House. So one thing Parque Warner do really well is immersively themed queue lines. And this guy here Look, he's really depressed, sad, a bit worn down, and that's because you haven't liked the video yet. So if you can do that, you might cheer this chap up. This is where Poison Ivy is being held. And around here, I believe, we do get the Joker. Is he in there? He is, being a bit sinister. So, just ridden Shadows of Arkham, a classic B&M invert. It's pretty good. It's showing signs of age for sure. It does have a little bit of a vibration there, but it's such an intense ride. Those original B&M inverts, they really do pin you to your back of your seat. It's kind of the antithesis of Gotham City Escape, which is ironic because they're both Batman coasters, yet they offer very different experiences. That is all about the intensity, whereas Gotham is all about just throwing you out of your seat as many times as it can. But yeah, it's solid, really good. So I think we're going to go and do Lex Luthor's Invertatron next. Look at that entrance sign, literally Invertatroning. That was pretty weak, a bit like Lex Luthor as a villain really. I mean, he's just a bald guy. Oh hi, I've got some more kryptonite, I'll piss off. Well, up next we have the B&M Flawless coaster, Superman Atracción de Acero. I'm sure I butchered that, but never mind, let's head in. And another example of the queue lines here. We're actually going to head straight into the Daily Planet. Thought we were going the wrong way for a second then. Superman's waiting with his pants on, good man. Yeah, they're hard at work here in the Daily Planet. Look, they've all gone to lunch, bunch of skivers. You know, they've been paid top dollar to report on all the big news stories in Metropolis. Lazy, just lazy. Oops. Superman looking like he's been accused of something. So, just ridden Superman, the B&M Flawless coaster today. That was a pretty good ride actually. Much better than I remember it. It was quite rattly last time I rode it. That was a little bit smoother. There's a really nice floaty 0G roll in there. Airtime hill, which caught me by surprise because I just forgot about its existence altogether. And altogether that was pretty good. Unfortunately, the rain did start falling harder, as you can see by my sort of patterned chest. And I feel like I've been sandblasted. Joe, that was your first ever B&M Flawless. What do you think?
It was good. It was a little bit on the shaky side. The rain definitely didn't help, as you said. Very painful. But yeah, no, in terms of the overall experience, very good fun. And yeah, let's get one out.
So we've taken a break from the rain and the roller coasters to sit down in Foster's Hollywood, which is one of the best restaurants here at Parque Warner. Going to get some grilled food, something nice for lunch, and then we'll head back out into the rain afterwards. But anyway, this looks really good. I'll show you some of the food when it arrives. So, man's got ribs. Went with some sweet barbecue ribs, half a wrap with some chips. This cost €14.99, which I don't think is too bad at all. I'm going to tuck in. Well, the rain does not want to stop at the moment, so we're heading into Cartoon Village to hopefully it turns into cartoon rain and doesn't have as much of an effect. But more importantly, because there's a dark ride, Scooby Doo, which is up ahead. This was closed for renovation last time I was here, so didn't get to ride it on that occasion. So quite looking forward to seeing what the deal is with La Adventure de Scooby Doo. And there's Gotham sidewinding behind it. There he is, there's our top boy, Scoobsy. So for a trackless dark ride, that didn't really do much with the trackless system. You just sort of followed the pathway round, really. It was okay. It was very cartoony. It felt a little bit like a sort of fairground ghost train in some aspects. And I think maybe I had higher expectations. Having ridden the Scooby Doo dark ride at Warner Bros. World in Abu Dhabi, I sort of expected a bit more from this, especially having gone through quite hefty renovation work. But it was fine. It was just sort of a bit of fun more than anything else. He's pointing his gun at you. Are you going to stand for that? Or are you going to subscribe? Meet me. Now, we all enjoy a bit of ice cream, but would you trust cow and chicken to make you an ice cream? I think they'd make a hash of it. And that rare occasion where you can ride a roller coaster through a carton of orange juice. Hopefully it's not too bitter, but this is a Sierra Tivoli, so who knows? This guy's enjoying it. So we're going to go and ride Tom and Jerry's Picnic in the Park. Let's do it. Well, that was fine. It was a fairly standard Sierra Tivoli. It's the one with the longer layout, I think. Obviously interacting with ants and orange juice makes it quite a unique experience. Can't say it made me feel like either Tom or Jerry though, so there is that. So here in Looney Tunes you do have a selection of much more family-focused rides, aimed sort of at the younger guests really. We've got sort of Looney Tunes, Acme Airmail. There's yeah, all kind of themed to the various Looney Tunes characters. Sylvester the cat there taking some sort of ride on a bus. It's a rabbit. Oh, Joe's a rabbit. So Correcaminos Bip Bip is up next. I believe this translates to Roadrunner Beep Beep or Meep Meep or whatever he says. Silly bird. Anyway, I remember it's been quite good fun. It's a Mack Rides family coaster, but it's got a few pops of airtime, some decent pacing. So let's go give it a ride. Correcaminos Bip Bip was all right. It's a Mack Rides Youngstar. They make pretty good family coasters, to be honest. That's got quite a lot of Pegasus energy from Europa Park. Overall, pretty solid. If Hero was a flat ride, yeah, for some reason I don't fancy riding that. Joe, do you fancy riding that?
Not particularly, no.
No? Okay.
I'll give it a miss.
Let's go find something good then. This guy's got my kind of energy and I respect it. So far be it for me to take credit for anything, but you know, we came over here to ride this because the poor guy looked bored, nothing was going on, and now our appearance on that ride behind us has attracted the numbers, and now he's having a very busy day. It feels like we've potentially rescued this ride, no longer has to close down. You know, thank me in the comments. Cuteness overload. So this is kind of cool. They've got a Looney Tune character carousel. Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, Sylvester. Okay, I low-key rate that visual joke. The Essex in me thought that said Hollywood blood. And up ahead you see the iconic Warner Brothers water tower. That's seen in so many of their productions and things. Well, we were coming over to ride Stunt Fall, which is the giant inverted boomerang here. However, we've got a bit of a Hyperia situation going on here because it seems to have valleyed. And it's just rocking back and forwards in between the Cobra Roll and the loop. Oh, let's see if the sheriff can sort it out. I do like this view over the lake here, the lagoon. It's a nice vibe. And just a general chat about Parque Warner. In general, as we see Gotham City Escape go over its awesome top hat, it has a very Universal Studios kind of feel. It is that kind of studio backlot vibe, particularly around this area here. Obviously around the sort of the Looney Tunes areas and the cartoon areas, it feels slightly more different, but yeah, I like it here. It's a cool park with a lot of awesome rides, some really cool coasters, and of course we've still got plenty more to do. Let's go.
Y sentir como su corazón se desboca. La amo tanto como ella me ama.
That got a reaction. Well, as far as mad heists go, that was pretty good. Quite spooky. There was obviously a bit in that pre-show there, which hopefully you saw, which frightened all the teenagers. But otherwise it did similar sort of madhouse things to expect. We did have a kind of an ongoing storyline going on of a ghostly bride who was angry and at the end just told us to get out, so that's what we did. So I just went for a walkthrough on that Passage del Terror, which was themed to one of the Conjuring films, so it was all spooky nuns and kids' rooms and stuff like that. It was pretty good. It was quite spooky in places. I did tell one of the nuns that I was none the wiser. He didn't seem very impressed by that, to be honest, and followed me for a bit. But that's pretty good. As you know, I'm not a massive fan of scare mazes, but that was well themed. It was a €7 upcharge. Actually seemed fairly reasonable for what you got. So yeah, that was pretty good. And I know Joe's the horror man. What did you think of that?
That was really, really good. It's very different to your one in Blackpool. So that one obviously pays, I'll take that from you. So that one pays more homage to kind of the Conjuring universe, which of course is the James Wan kind of horror franchise, and the Warrens basically. It's a very well-known franchise. If you've seen the films like The Nun, The Conjuring, Annabelle, you're walking through those films, it's absolutely brilliant. The actors in there were fantastic. Sets in there really well put together. Very immersive, so you are literally walking straight through that franchise, film by film. It's worth €7. It is an upcharge, but if you are here and you're a huge horror fan, check it out.
So we wandered up here to ride Coaster Express, but that looks like it is closed. Well, it is. The fences make that very clear. Out of service, not sure why. If I'm honest, it's a very mid-tier wooden coaster anyway, but still a shame that we're not going to get to ride it. So maybe we should go for a little break dance instead. I think that was less of a break dance and more of a rain dance, because we've come off that absolutely soaked. The heavens opened, we waited about 5 minutes to get our restraints checked, the whole time just getting soaked. And then went for a spin and yeah, just drenched. Well, it was kind of inevitable we'd find our way back here.
detectada. Maniobras evasivas activadas.
Poison Ivy, caerás.
No lo creo, murciélago. Parece que son tus amigos los que van a caer.
Tomo el control. ¡Vamos! ¡Agárrense fuerte! ¡Manténganse alerta! ¡Estamos casi a salvo!
Piloto automático dañado. Reduciendo navegación al 20%.
¡Les sacaremos de aquí! ¡Máxima velocidad!
¡Mira hacia arriba! ¡Tenemos visitantes! ¡Vamos! Perdón por el lío.
Well, just had a back row ride on Gotham City Escape, and that was a marvellous experience. The coaster is absolutely top tier. The airtime you sit at the back is, there's so much ejector, just so much ejector. You are yeeted time and time again as if you've done something wrong. And then also, it's like we've done something wrong, we then had a very interesting experience at the end of a ride where we went up into the spike, it came back down, but settled in the wrong place. So we then sat e-stopped for about 10 to 15 minutes while they came to rescue us. We had people physically coming down to kind of check out the transfer track and turn the lights on and do it all manually. So it's really interesting to see it all. Fortunately, I couldn't record anything, but yeah, cool. Love that ride, really good. So heading into the queue for the Riddler, pair of drop and shot towers. Hoping to do the shot side, but we'll see. That was a pretty solid bouncy drop tower. Took us all the way up. Literally Gotham City went over its top hat as we were like next to it. Kind of wish I had like Ray-Ban Meta glasses or something for that, because that was a fantastic view. I would love to have captured it on camera for you guys, but sadly can't take any cameras on ride here. Yeah, big drop, then a bounce, up, down, good. Really enjoyed that. It wasn't the fiercest drop tower, but it is high and you do feel that height.
Coasterwave now has an online store, coasterwave.com. The range includes a number of quirky, geeky and sometimes silly theme park related offerings, all designed in-house with all money generated going back into the channel. So if you'd like to support Coasterwave or just recognise that lap bars are better and really enjoy hang time, then head on over to coasterwave.com.
Well, it's a slightly different day now. We're back for day 2. Pleased to say we have way better weather today. The sun's out. Skies are fairly clear, although apparently we're going to get some thunderstorms later this afternoon. So we're going to try and rattle off a few bits this morning quickly before the heavens potentially open. Obviously there's a few bits we didn't do yesterday. There's Stunt Fall, which wasn't open. Rio Bravo, which is their big water ride. We didn't ride that because obviously it was soaking wet yesterday. And a few other bits and pieces. So let's head inside and we'll see what Friday's like at Parque Warner. Well, already today everything feels a little bit more louder and more energetic. And also worth noting that if you do come to Parque Warner and want to spend a second day here, it's only €10 extra to book a second day, which I think is an absolute bargain. It's almost worth not coming here for one day when it's that sort of money. So yeah, highly recommend it. As you can probably tell by the music and the visuals, we are heading to Superman first. Now unfortunately Stunt Fall hasn't opened so far today following its issues yesterday. Gotham City Escape currently closed as well, so we're going to go and do the B&Ms first. 25-minute queue though, much busier than yesterday. That could just be because everything's shut. Technical issues in the queue line. Well, it was much nicer to hang out with old Clark Kent here when it's not raining. That was much better. I sat towards the back of that train that time. Really got lifted out of my seat on the drop and over the airtime hill as well. The inversions were a bit janky. I just got gripped on there. That's probably what I get for slapping Superman in the face. But no, that was much better. Unfortunately, it's a really difficult roller coaster to film because it's all hidden kind of behind the park here. So you don't really get to see much of it off-ride. But it's a fairly standard B&M flawless layout. I like that it's got the straight drop rather than the curved drop. I think that really, when you've got the flawless seats, that really lifts your legs up and that's quite a nice sensation. On the whole, yeah, really enjoyed that. As I say, it's a little bit janky in places, but it was pretty good fun. How did you enjoy that one, Joe?
Yeah, it was a lot better than it was in the rain yesterday. Plenty of lift down my seat as well. I wasn't near the back, but I was kind of about mid. And to be fair, actually, yeah, it's a bit on the shaky side and it is a bit rough, but yeah, it's a great coaster.
There you go. Well, good news is that Gotham City seems to be testing, so I think we're going to maybe manoeuvre in that direction. Might have a look to see what the B&M invert time's like, but that was quite a sluggish queue. In fairness, when there's gaps on the train, they do call it all the way down the queue line, and we were probably a good 6 or 7 trains down, and they put the call out for 2. And to be fair to all these Spanish school kids here, they parted like the Red Sea, and we were just straight up onto the train. So yeah, not really good. I didn't expect that. Yeah, so not bad at all. Anyway, we're going to go and explore and probably head in the direction of Gotham City. Oh, we've got Superman over here. Hola. So just had a little chat with Superman. He seemed very interested in what roller coasters we'd ridden. Not sure that was something that Kryptonians were into, but there we go. Anyway, we're going to head in the direction of Gotham City Escape now. Also going to check out what time the Gotham City Stunt Show's on, because we didn't see that yesterday. That's quite cool. So as you can see, the Gotham City Stunt Show is at 4 o'clock today, so we're going to try and make sure we see that. There are thunderstorms scheduled for that sort of time, so we'll see. But yeah, it all takes place down here in the Gotham Town Square. Ace Chemicals, Ace Ride. The staff areas are cut off by these Gotham City Police Department signs. It's these little things just they make it feel a bit more immersive. Well, the positive news is that we've just seen Stunt Fall going around with people on it, so we're heading in that direction now, hopefully to get a ride on this really fun and intimidating Vekoma giant inverted boomerang. It'll be Joe's first time. I just said boomerang then, which I don't think is a real word. Well, it is open and it's on a 5-minute wait, so we are heading in. Joe, you're finally going to get to ride a giant inverted boomerang.
Finally, yeah, very, very hyped. It looks absolutely amazing. It looks really quick, very intense.
You also look like you're in prison or in some kind of zoo.
It does a little bit, yeah, because you've got these cages here, but we're shooting past, it kind of makes sense. So, yeah.
Well, we got on Stunt Fall, and probably just in the nick of time as well, as you can see from my hooded appearance, the rain has started to fall, and from what we understand, it could have been the rain that actually caused some of the valleying issues yesterday. There is reportedly a bit of an issue with these giant inverted boomerangs. They don't really like the rain. But it's a really intense and intimidating experience. Getting pulled up that lift hill backwards, all your weight on the restraint, you're putting all your faith in Vekoma there. Unfortunately, I quite rate Vekoma, so they've done quite a good job there. You then drop down into a very rattly, head-bangy cobra roll. I smashed both ears, either side, going through that. Not the best. The loop's great, and then you go straight up the vertical climb. The drop off of that was awesome. Really got lifted out of my seat on the way down. Then obviously do the entire course backwards. Was a bit more protective of my ears doing the cobra roll backwards, so it wasn't too bad. Overall, that's a really fun, intimidating and intense experience. It's a shame there aren't more of these out there. I think they're much better than the traditional boomerang, but they do obviously come with apparently some operational issues. So Joe, your first ever giant inverted boomerang, what did you think?
That was absolutely insane. It really was. Now, yes, but cobra roll right there does feel like you're getting your ears boxed by Mike Tyson, I'm not going to lie. But it's intense, it's fast-paced, it's packed full of force. And that first drop is absolutely insane. We sat towards the back of it, so we got some serious airtime as we kind of dropped down the drop there. And then obviously then the backwards drop as well. Overall, it's just a really great addition to the park. Yes, it's sort of showing its age slightly, but no less kind of better than, yeah, you'd expect really.
And here we see that intimidating lift hill in all its glory. Look at that. All weight on the restraints. Vekoma really had to make sure they nailed those, and you drop straight through into that rather janky cobra roll there. Comes down into the vertical loop. And then up tower number 2, which you can't see because it's hidden behind tower number 1. And they're going to do it backwards. Now it's possible Joe was on that train. He did try and jump in for another ride, but that did leave quite quickly. So I reckon he's probably going to be on the next one. And then just to kill you off at the end, look at that. It just gently brings you back down with all your weight on the restraints. Just unnecessary intimidation. Cheers, Vekoma. I thought you were nice guys. Well, here comes Joe, fresh off of round 2. How was that?
Mental.
It looked a bit wet. I was getting soaked watching it off-ride.
It wasn't too bad to be fair. I mean, obviously it is raining, and yeah, we did get a little bit pelted, but it's not kind of as bad as riding other stuff. Okay. It hurt a lot more on Superman than it actually did on that.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, no, really, really good.
Well, the good weather didn't last long. We are now having full-on torrential rain here. So we've come for some food. Well, unfortunately, it's not really the weather today or the temperatures to experience Rio Bravo, which is this huge water ride they have here. I did ride this last time I came. It's got 3 drops, it's got turntables, you do backwards sections, and some quite cool Wild West theming in there. So it is a shame that we're probably not going to experience it today, but it is a drencher. Well, there don't appear to be any boats going around on Rio Bravo at the moment. I think everyone's had the same idea we have and just abandoned it and left it there to rot. Just a standard bar. But it is quite a nicely themed area down here. It feels less Warner Brothers than anywhere else, but I don't mind that. It's nice when kind of IP heavy parks kind of do something outside the IP for a bit. Although, of course, there is that irony that every European park seems to have a Wild West area. Hi, I'm David Falconer, and you should like this video. Joe is fresh back from his Passage of Terror. How was that?
There was 3 of us, there was 2 Spanish lads that absolutely shat themselves and they were clinging on to me for dear life. Absolutely hilarious. But yeah, it was good. Because there was less of us, it felt more kind of personal, if that makes sense. I'd like to see more of these open here. I mean, obviously they've got them dotted throughout the park for like different films and all that sort of stuff, and obviously that one's, as I said, based around the Conjuring universe. There's things like It and the Monkey and everything else, you know, kind of dotted around. I'd like to see more of these open through the year. They're absolutely brilliant. Yes, they're an upcharge, but they're well worth doing.
We are back in Wayne Manor. Gotham went down for a little bit, as did most things with the weather, but the rain subsided. Well, one of the advantages about jumping straight on a coaster after it's reopened from poor weather is that sometimes not everyone realises it's reopened. So we went for a lap on Gotham City Escape, got back into the station. There were only people waiting for the front row, so we just stayed in our seats and went round again. So 2 laps there on one of the best roller coasters in Europe. Awesome of the staff that they allowed us to do it. There are many parks that would say, no, get off and do the queue line again. So, no, awesome we were able to do that. And obviously, we've got back in the queue for another ride because it's bloody awesome. So just had ride number 7 on Gotham City Escape, and I swear it gets better with each ride. The airtime feels more aggressive, the hang time feels more pronounced and lengthy. It really is just a fantastic ride. The theming, the way it looks, the way the trains look, the way the trains feel, the incredible restraints, and that hang time stall behind me is one of the most crazy elements in the history of roller coasters. So if you want to ride an absolute beast, one of the best roller coasters in Europe, arguably the best roller coaster in Europe, then you need to get out here to Parque Warner in Madrid, Spain. It is a worldie of a roller coaster, an absolute worldie. I think it might be the best in Europe. What do you think? So that is all from 2 fantastic days here at Parque Warner Madrid in Spain. Obviously the highlight is Batman Gotham City Escape, but we've also got some other really cool coasters here. The 2 B&Ms, Superman and Shadows of Arkham, both really solid coasters. Stunt Fall is just intimidating and mad. Obviously you've got some really cool Looney Tunes and cartoon related stuff. I think this is a really great park. I wouldn't say it's quite in the very top tier of European parks. It's not quite at the level of a Europa Park or an Efteling or a Phantasialand, but it's just in that rung below those. And I think that's certainly a very respectable place to be. Like I said earlier, to tack on a second day here is only €10 more. So 2 days on park here, less than €50. You really cannot grumble at that at all. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Parque Warner down in the comments below. And if you'd like to watch a full breakdown of Gotham City Escape when I reviewed it back in 2023, then I'll stick that up on the screen now. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.